Hello everyone and welcome back to our backyard garden. Today's November 16, 2019. What a beautiful hot sunny day in the middle of November. So we're in the fall season and today the temperature reaches 90 plus degree in the daytime. That's how hot it is. We're in the late afternoon now and you can see the sun is still pretty high up there. It's pretty hot, but it's dry. And nighttime temperature can dip down to mid 40s. So it's kind of nice and cool in the nighttime. And it's very hot and warm in the daytime. Now this is really a perfect temperature for fall gardening season. If you live in Southern California, in Oregon, and in Washington, some of those western states, you typically get the similar weather like California. You don't have snow, you don't have really freezing degree in the winter. Sometimes you might have freezing, but in general, the temperature are pretty mild in the winter, especially in Southern California. So this is really great for fall gardening. So today what I'm doing is I'm prepping the soil. As you can see here, look like we're excavating something here, but I'm not. What I'm trying to do is prepping the soil and get rid of some of the sandy soil in the ground here. The soil is really depleted with nutrients. When I dig down just several inches beneath the soil line, I don't see any activity at all. In some places I do see some worms and other critters, but other than that I don't see much activity. A lot of them is really dried out and very sandy, and the color is not very dark. Now you see some darkness because I tilt slightly. I really lightly tilt the soil. I typically don't like to tilt the soil, but today what I'm doing is really I'm digging a lot of about maybe several inches tops soil layer of the soil and replace them with better organic soil and fertilizer and manure and chicken manure and organic soil. So that will help the soil to rebuild nutrients and organic material. So let me show you really quickly around the garden. Now you can see here's a little barrier here, about maybe 3-inch barrier, this right here. So the soil line continues to rise every year because I continue to add, other material to it. But then eventually the top layer will be pretty much just sandy stuff and really stuff that is not really have any nutrients content. So on the bottom it's really sand. This is a very sandy spot of the house here. And this is much better than since I first started several years ago. So what I did is I start to kind of like shave off some of the top layer of the soil and replenish it with some nice nutrients. As you can see here, this part here is a little bit better, but it's very sandy, you can see there. And all this top here, this is nothing but just really dry sand. Nothing really can grow in here. Look at this. So all this stuff I'll get rid of it, okay? And including this side too. Look at that. All right, so there's a lot of work to do here to get rid of a lot of this substance here. Look, see beneath here is decent. When you dig down a little bit further, it's not too bad, but it's still very sandy, okay? Sandy soil has its pluses and has minuses. It dries very fast. It's good for well draining, but it doesn't hold any nutrients at all. So you have to continually add organic matter or fertilizer to it in order for the soil to remain somewhat fertile. Okay, so here we have some of this here. A lot of this here I need to get rid of. You can see here, all this top layer here I need to get rid of. Okay, and on this spot right there, I'm planning to today after I'm done, I plan to sow some of the lettuces. Now, it's not too late in California to do that because we still have a very warm temperature, even though in the mid-November. You should, in some part of the country, you should already sow it over a month ago when the weather is cool and when summer ended in, in the late September. But it's all right in California. We can grow lettuces up to even May. So this is one of the blend that I'm gonna sow today. It's a gourmet blend made up of maybe 4 or 5 different variety here. So I'm gonna pretty much sow them right there. And this spot has partial sun. In the midday we'll have full sun here, so it's fine. But in terms of growing lettuce, you don't need hot temperature. You do need some sunlight, and you need nice and cool nighttime temperature so they can recover. After all you do is growing the leaf. You're not growing the fruit at all. So it's perfectly fine for this weather. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. As you can see here, the trellis is completely cleaned off. Everything's clean. So nothing's really growing during the fall season. Until the the spring season, then we can start growing some summer fruit and vegetable. For right now, you can grow some herbs, you can grow some lettuces. That's about pretty much it. That's all you can grow in the winter, or even in the fall. And some of the radish, you can actually grow them in the fall season. Nice, anything that's cool, loving. Vegetable, you can grow them. And look at what do we have here. Look at my Christmas chili plant here. Look at that. Is that beautiful? Look at this guy. So this guy is growing, like I keep mentioning, growing right, from the side of the house. Look at that. And it gets a lot of sunlight because it's reflective. All the sunlight, bounce off the wall, and the wall is kind of nice and warm now. And you can see here. So it's actually staying alive and actually thriving. If you look at this, look at it, beautiful. There's hundreds of tiny little chili. Look at that, it's just beautiful. And this morning, one plant here, actually there's actually 4 plants here, and those 2 little one right here, this one, and that one, those 2 separate plant there. But this is a bigger one here. This one's about 4.5 feet, and it's just loaded with fruit, tiny little chili fruit, right? Just beautiful. Other than that, that's it for our video for today. So there's a lot of hard work I gotta do. I gotta really prep the soil for the following season, because the soil has been really neglected and really in lack of nutrients. So I need to add a lot of organic material to the soil. Also, I continue to add kitchen scrap to the soil. I continue to bury them throughout the garden, everywhere. Every time I have a full pot of, one of those 1 gallon coffee can, then I'll take them out here and bury them. And typically it'll take a few days, several days, 3 days. I'll have a full can, and then I'll come out here and I'll bury the kitchen scrap into the ground. That will add plenty of organic matter to the soil, and the worms and the other critters will just love it. Okay, so here were the soil where the bitter melon. And as you can see, the bitter melon, the seeds actually sprout, germinated, because the weather is so hot. Look at that. But they won't grow at all. They just germinate because the seed, met with the perfect temperature. So they just germinate, but they will not grow into a full plant like during the summer or springtime. Look at this. Look at that. See here? Look at all this. Look at all this bitter melon. So next season I will rotate the crop. I won't grow bitter melon here. I will probably grow them over there somewhere. And I have to decide what to do with this tiny little spot here. It's only about 18 inches of soil here. What can I grow? So that's a challenge for me to figure out what I should grow here. And we still haven't decided yet. After 2 videos that I post, we still haven't decided what to do with the passion fruit vine. I don't know what to do, and look, you can see that I trim off a whole bunch of branches or vine, and they continue to grow. As you can see here, let's take a look a little closer. And putting out flowers because the weather is nice and warm. Look at this. There's a flower bud here. You can see that. But you can see I pretty much pruned up a lot of them. So still undecided yet what to do with this plant. Okay, so that's it. And here's some more thought for you. Look at how dry this thing is. Look at that. Literally just dust and sand. Look at this. Look at that. So nothing will really grow here unless I really amend the soil and get it ready for the following season. Alrighty, thank you for watching, and it's been a while. I haven't posted a video in a month, but I appreciate you guys tuning in and appreciate a lot of comments on all the other videos. So I really appreciate that. So I hope I'll continue to make some more video. I have been very busy lately with my kids in school. My twins are in 3rd grade now. My other older sons are in 8th grade, so they're very busy with the homework and whatnot. Alrighty, here was one more shot of the onion. Look at how nice they grow. By the way, this variety grow really well. They do very well in nice and cool climate. They don't need a lot of sun, and you can see here they're still growing. And one more thing I want to show you. One more thing before we go. Too much to talk about, not enough time, buddy. And now here are the new, what do you call it, green onion or scallion that I planted. These are not from seeds. So when you buy from the store, they look kind of like this. Okay, this is about 12-13 inches. This is how they look when you buy a bunch of them, like maybe 8 or 10 of them for over $1 plus. So after I do that, I just cut off the bottom part with these roots. Now stick them down, and voila, they'll grow into a new plant, just like this one. So this is a new one I put down, and they are very easy to grow. They don't require much. As long as you keep them moist and it's not really hot, they will fly. Now this guy is ready to be harvested. So actually I can come out here and you know what? I can come out and just cut this part off, and it'll grow to another new plant, right? Unless you like the flavor from the roots. The roots are a little bit, the colors are white, if you know anything about this plant. But people use the green one. They chop them off and put them in soup. Beautiful flavor, including cilantro. You chop them off, including this green onion, and you put them in all kind of soup, chicken soup, beef, noodle, whatever. After that, you just plant the roots, the remains of that part, and they will grow into a new plant. All right? And all this here, I did the same thing last year. And remember, recall this here. Let me go back here again. Sorry. Right here, right? So this were just like those I just showed you, but they grow into a gigantic plant. I mean, 3 feet. And they even flowers. After the flowers, I spread out the seeds, and look at all the seeds have been growing to a new plant. See that? And this is just very simple. I'm not even being very disciplined in terms of growing them. I'm just kind of like spread them out and let them grow by on their own, and they're still growing like crazy. Now this here, I actually have had the seeds and I sold them. All right, but this one right here was just from the plant, from the mother plants, and they grow into nice, beautiful green onions, green scallion. And I use them a lot too, because I use them in all of my cooking. All right, that's enough for our video for today. Thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe to our channel. And we hope to continue to make more videos for you guys. And please give us a thumbs up. I appreciate that. All righty, we'll see you back soon. Bye for now.